visionaries. Welcome to another Monday Night Live training, where your journey to business success accelerates. Join us for insights, strategies, and tools to elevate your business while keeping your budget in mind. It's time to transform your passion into profit. Your host, Corey von Bill Costa, is about to take the stage. Get ready to be inspired and empowered. The future of your business starts now.
All right. We're live. Okay. Y'all, it's always a gamble. I'm like, am I going to be able to hit all the buttons? But we did it today. And I'm so excited because today is the official last Monday Night Live that we are doing. It's like, yay, but no, this is amazing. I'm so happy that we did this segment, right? I'm so excited. I remember why we started this. I had reached out to a mentor, I think it was like over 3 years ago, and I was like, hey, I really am struggling to be consistent going live, right? I was doing different things, trying different things. I was kind of habit stacking. I remember I was still living in the projects when this started. And I got right on the edge of the project, let's say. And I remember I was trying to figure out, like, when can I go live and what should I be saying and how can I engage with my audience? And there was a walk I would do. I would walk from my home to, there was some really amazing, like, beautiful water. So I would walk and I would go live on Facebook till, my walk to the water. And then on the way back, I would be live on Instagram. And, that was something I tried for a while. But she told me, like, hey, why don't you pick a day, pick a time and go live no matter what? And I was like, oh my God, that's a big commitment, right? Pick a day, pick a time, go live every week. But we did. We decided to call this segment Monday Night Lives because it's Mondays. We were live. We were live at 6 p.m. every single Monday. And I'm just so proud. I'm so proud of myself and my team that we did this. I think we did for 3 years. Like today, I think today marks 3 full years. And out of those 3 years, we've only missed less than 5 lives. And I think all the ones we missed were this year. And so it's a big undertaking. It's so crazy. I'll travel to different places and people will say, oh my God, I've seen your lives and different things like that. Or I need to go catch up on my Monday Night Lives. And so I know that this segment did exactly what it was meant to do. And it helped the people it was meant to help. And we're not stopping doing trainings and things like that. But I think just like with anything, like your favorite TV show, things change, evolution happens. And for me, I'll be very transparent. This last quarter of the year has been just extremely tough to do these Monday Night Lives. Because one thing, and let me do this in case, I can't read your guys' comments. You do comment whether you're live or the replay. But I like to be able to see if we have comments so I know to go back and check. Let me just hit the little button here. There we go. So something that I will say is it's been very challenging this last quarter of the year. I have been, I don't want to say struggling, but dealing with a lot of visual changes in my life. And usually it's like, okay, it goes down, it comes back up. But it's been pretty consistent. I've lost a lot of sight over the last, like I said, 3 months or so. And so it's been a challenge because I've definitely been doing the operations of this segment by myself. I always say, I'm hitting all the buttons, doing all the things. If you see me looking, it's because I got some dogs in here and they're doing things. But yeah, I've been doing everything by myself, and it's just been more and more challenging. And I think that it's important as business people for us not to always fight against our situation or our nature, right? I always tell my clients, if you're not a morning person, don't try to schedule a ton of things in the morning. And so for me, right now in my life, it just isn't the best idea for me to put more strain on just going live all the time. I think it's a really good marketing strategy. I still recommend that to my clients. But as a visually impaired person, right? And it's crazy if you go back, I don't think I even talked about being visually impaired the first year this segment was a thing. It's something I've been more transparent about in the last, year or two. I am a visually impaired person. I am legally blind. And unfortunately, it's just very tough. It's tough to work certain technologies, especially when there's issues. It's tough to have a full, presentation ready every single week to do and have all the moving parts like I would love to do. And so because of that, we're making some adjustments. And this is, like I said, something I'm being transparent about because I recommend this to you guys as well. A lot of times we try to do what everybody else is doing or to fit into these boxes as business owners, but sometimes we have to make things work for us. And for me, and talking with my team and really thinking about like what makes the most sense and where I can thrive and be consistent, I was like, we got to let go of these Monday Night Lives. But good news is that we are going to be having 2 shows or segments, whatever you want to call them, in 2026. We will be having the Iraq Action Lab. I'm super excited. It's we've had a podcast in the past, and it's kind of a podcast feel in which there will be episodes in which I bring on experts to talk about the action they're taking in their businesses, things that they're doing to move forward, and even things that maybe you can do to move forward in your business. I'll also do some segments alone where I talk about ways to do more implementation in your business and get things done, and how to take very small actions that make very big impacts. And then the second segment or series or whatever you want to call it that we'll be doing, I've decided just for me as a passion project. The current name of the segment is Blind Boss, but it may change. I'm gonna try to find something a little more witty. But the idea is, I really want to allow individuals who have to do things a little differently to have a place to come to have a safe place to come to talk about like what it looks like to be a business owner who has to do things differently. I'm definitely going to be inviting some of my differently abled bosses onto that show as well. But I will also just be talking about the different things that I'm doing, the things that I've done with clients who are differently abled to get things done in their business. I find that people are always like, how do you do all these things? And I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I should share about that because there's always new things on the horizon. There's always like just new stuff to try to figure out like how to do. I'm like, okay, well, how do I do this today? How do I do that? And so I want to share that because I think that it's important for me as someone who is able to still make money as a disabled person, especially. They're just doing too much. As a visually impaired person, I think it's important for me to share that. Those of you who do not know, I think it's around 70% of visually impaired people, and I mean not like just wearing glasses, but truly, well not truly, but very visually impaired people. I think it's about 70% are unemployed, and a lot of that has to do with people just assume that we are unable to do things, and so that's literally why I started my very first business because I thought I couldn't do anything, and I was like, well, I need to make some money some kind of way, so let me start a business because nobody's going to hire me. And that isn't the truth. People will hire us, but it is harder, right? And then a lot of times we don't know how to navigate doing certain things or showing people that we are capable of doing things. So I'm really excited about that segment. It's still going to be around business, but it's going to be around doing business differently. And I'm not just going to be talking about blindness. We're also going to talk about mental health, right? I also have talked before about the fact that I have pretty bad anxiety. We're going to talk about individuals who have ADHD, have autism, and that are still bosses. We're going to talk about people who have hearing issues, people who have other, just whatever issues they have, and we're going to talk about how they still get things done and how they're able to be a boss. And so I'm just like I said, I'm personally excited about the new series or shows. I'm gonna call them YouTube shows, y'all, because that's what they are. I'm excited about the 2 new YouTube shows that we're gonna do. I think that they're going to be able to touch different people in new ways. because I do think that this is the perfect time to have that kind of exposure. A lot of you guys have the understanding of what you should be doing in your business, but I think sometimes knowing that something should be done doesn't exactly tell you how to get things done. So I'm excited about the Action Lab. I'm excited about the Blind Boss series because I think that, like I said, it's going to be able to really help you guys move forward. I don't want you just to sit in planning. I want you to move forward. And so, yeah, definitely make sure you stay hanging out with us. And as we kind of start showing you guys more of that, we also have a really cool group program coming out. It's called the IROC Implementation Academy. And again, I'm always trying to listen to feedback. I'm always trying to see how we can support you guys in the season of life you're in. And I get that this is an uncertain time financially for a lot of folks. And so we wanted to create a program where you guys could have community, have the ability to still get really good education, still be able to ask questions and things like that. And so the Implementation Academy launches in January. And it's very affordable. We'll get into the details later. This isn't like a selling video. I just want to let you know kind of what's on the horizon. But yeah, you're able to get access to courses, to resources, to Q&A calls. We're also helping we're also helping you track your goals and have accountability. We have an amazing team of individuals we train that are going to be supporting you guys. We're going to be bringing in experts. And really my goal is, well, I'm still going to be giving, like I said, I'm going to be giving the gems through our 2 shows and through our social media content. But the bulk, right, the bulk of the value we're going to be giving out this year is going to be in our academies and in our programs because I really want to help the people who are ready to move. Right. Our business is all about implementation. And I think that in the past, we've been trying to prep people to move, which again, that's still what our social media is for and our email list is for. But for our programs, we want to really work with those entrepreneurs who are ready to take action now and who have gotten in their minds that this is the time to really do things to do with their businesses. So that's just a little bit of stuff that's on the horizon. Definitely stay connected with us on that. But anyway, let's at least have a chat about where you guys should be in business right now. I know this isn't our typical field, but I just wanted to be able to talk with you guys. This is the last Monday Night Live. I didn't want any slides. I wanted to just have a moment to like be real and genuine. And I'm not even going to be here too much longer, but I do want to talk a little bit about where you should probably be in your planning process in business. I know most of you have probably checked out for the year, right? You're like, hey, Christmas already happened, like I'm on break. But for those of you who maybe didn't do what you needed to do for planning, make sure that you spend the next week or so going ahead, plotting those goals. You don't want to, get good into the first quarter and don't have your yearly goals set out. So please make sure you checked on your business plan. If you haven't created a strategic plan already, that kind of outlines not just what your business is in a general sense, like a business plan, but actually what steps you're going to take to get to your goals, please do that. It's just so important to put that strategic plan in place. And actually, my team is putting in our strategic planning course into our implementation academy. So I was like, I don't care what anybody joins, they need to have access to that. And if you've been watching, we had our strategic planning intensives in November, December. So we'll be putting the workbook in there. I'm not sure if we're going to do the course yet, but we'll put the workbook in there so that our academy students will be able to create their strategic plans. But yeah, make sure you check your business plan. You got your strategic plan in place. You got your goals set. And then please put in place kind of how you're going to track these things, right? It's one thing to say, okay, I made this document, it's here, but how do you actually check in on it? How do you, gauge your milestones? How do you know when to adjust and pivot? Please put these things in place. I don't care if you put it in your calendar to say, hey, once a quarter, I'm going to check back in, right? Do so. I don't want you guys to continue to do what hasn't been working, right? I don't want you to just say, well, this is my year, but you've done nothing different. You've gotten no new skills. You've done everything like you've been doing. Well, if you've been doing the same thing and it has resulted in failure, let's change it up, right? If you don't have a marketing budget, this is the time to say, you know what, I need a marketing budget. Go ahead and get those things in place. I was like, where's my dog? I see you. I was like, somebody's staring at me. It's my dog. But yeah, get those things in place and stick to it. Stick to it. A lot of implementation and kind of building momentum is all around you just keeping your word to yourself, right? If you say you're gonna post. And I know that's easier kind of said than done, but again, you got to decide that it's time for a change, right? It doesn't magically happen. Now, yes, we can teach you skills, we can give you strategy to help, but it has to start in your mind. It has to say, you know, enough is enough, right? Enough is enough. It's time to do things differently. It's time to put in the work. It's time to stop treating your business like a hobby and actually put into practice what you should be doing. It's so crazy. I think about the fact that on one of our call forms, it asks people like, have you ever had a coach? Do you want to coach or do you want to do it yourself? And I'm telling you, people will mark they just want to do it themselves. And it's actually a mindset check for us to see kind of where people's mindset is, because everybody should have a coach, whether it's me or someone else. You should have a coach, because if you're getting a coach, then at least we know that you're actually doing what you should be doing in your business. Like, you're moving forward and you're open to learning. If you say, oh, I'm gonna do it myself, I'm like, you're gonna be taking a long time. Like, you may not be ready to move. And again, it's nothing against anyone. It's just the reality is, again, every successful business owner I know has a coach, right? Period. I don't care who it is. Oprah has a coach, right? Beyonce has a singing coach, and she's Beyonce. So what makes you think that you are going to be able to do business without support, right? Do you have your accountability partners lined up? A lot of you are saying, dang, I need more accountability, but you haven't reached out to anybody to be your accountability partner. Every year I have accountability partners. This year, look, shout out to my accountability partners for 2026. I got Melanie and I got Tanita. Those are my road dogs. I actually started with them back a couple months ago. It wasn't June, but it was sometime around that time or what have you. And yeah, we have been rolling. And it's so crazy what we can do when we're supporting each other versus what we were doing alone. And so I encourage you to get accountability partners. And that's something that we're really pushing in our implementation academy is, yeah, while you're in this group with other movers and shakers, find some people to help you and be accountable so that you can check in with them and you're not having to just say, well, I'm gonna do it by myself. Right? So again, we got your business plan, your strategic plan, you got your goals, you got your accountability partners, you got your coaches, right? You got your budgets, know your numbers, right? All these things need to be put in place so that you can be successful. I don't say that luck doesn't exist, but you can make your own luck, right? You can decide now that this next year is going to be your year. You can make it your year. I always tell people, because they asked me like about my eyes and like how do I deal if I have a bad eye day, and I was like, you know what? I don't know. You know, when I wake up in the morning, how my eyes are going to do. But I'm big on saying, like, if I go to sleep at night, I'm like, hey, tomorrow we're gonna have a great day. Like, we're gonna have a great day, no ands, ifs, or buts, and we just make it a great day. That's it. You make it a great day. You decide. So for a lot of you, what's holding you back from success is you haven't decided to be successful. You haven't decided to say no matter what, right? No matter what life throws at me, no matter what my situation is, I'm going to be successful. Period. Right? Period. That's on everything. And I'm big on that. I'm like, I don't go to sleep or wake up and wonder, am I going to be a CEO the next day? Or if my business is going to exist. I'm like, it's going to exist. we going to be here. We going to continue to be here. It's just, what does it look like? How do we fix this? How do we get past the next thing? How do we problem solve? Who do we need to hire? Whatever the case may be. But we're going to be here. We're going to serve people. Period. And I think a lot of you have not clicked that into your mind yet to decide, like, this is what it is, right? You're thinking, well, I hope I'm successful. I hope I make some money. Like, no, I'm going to make money. I'm going to be successful. If this doesn't work, then I'll just try the next thing. Because that's really what a CEO life is like. You're just constantly problem solving and moving the needle, right? It doesn't matter how successful you get. You're just like, okay, made it to this place. What's the next step? Made it to this place. What's the next step? right? New problem today. What's the next step? How do I get past this? And so a lot of you are trying to get to a place, right? This imaginary place where all things are perfect, and it just doesn't exist. It just doesn't exist. There's always going to be new problems to solve. And I want you guys to get in the habit of just being problem solvers, just being people who are open to growth, right? Period.com. And again, I know some of these things seem easy to say, but this is literally what I live. This is what I teach my clients. Because I'm telling you right now, I can't even see myself, y'all. like cannot see myself, can't see my eyes, can't see nothing. But that don't mean that y'all won't get me here on a Monday. I feel like we live. I keep checking my phone because I know that if my phone rings, it's like, hey, you ain't really live, or they can't hear you. Something, something's gonna be said. But outside of that, we just roll. And it's like, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have this Monday Night Live. Period. Couldn't read much of anything today, but we're here, right? And so it's just important for you guys to set the tone, right? January 1, that this is gonna be a all or nothing year. You are going to do the things that you know you need to do to be successful as business owners. You're going to give it your all. You're not going to just be like, well, I'm going to chill today. Like, no, you're going to move. You're going to hustle till you get to a place where momentum is hit and you can just continue to grow and scale, period. All right. Like, I see comments over there. I was like, I'm going to have to go back and look. But like I said, I don't want to preach to the choir. I just wanted to be, like I said, I wanted to be true to my word, make sure we did this Monday Night Live. I want you guys to stay connected with us. You're still gonna see my face. Like, I'm still gonna do content, all that jazz. Just like with anything, like I said, I've been telling you guys, get new skills. I too am getting new skills. When your vision changes, it's not as simple as I think some people think. Like, I think some people think it's like all or nothing. Like, you can see, you can't. But no, blindness is a spectrum. So now that I'm in a new era, that's what I'm calling a new era of visual impairment, I'm going to be working to build my skills so that I can show up more with you guys. But one thing I am so appreciative to whoever, whoever is making this happen for me, Lord above, partly me, I don't know. But I'm just proud that I am past the point of being like, I can't show up, without getting my stuff together, because it's hard. Like, I try to be as transparent as I can, but there's definitely some weeks in the recent months where I was like, I cannot possibly be on camera and not know what I look like. I cannot possibly be on camera and not be the way I want to be and be able to see the screen and do the things I want to do. It has been hard, guys, but I'm telling you, you too can get past whatever it is, because it is what it is, right? You were put on this earth for a reason. You have a mission, you have goals, and again, life is going to be lifing, and this is my version of life be lifing. But I'm gonna still show up in whatever capacity that looks like. And then also, guys, you don't have to be the person that does it all. And I'll say this, and I'll kind of end it because I'll talk forever. You don't have to do it all. Something that I had to really focus on in this season of life is I needed to build the best possible team that I could to do the things that I could. I'm not gonna say I can't do, but that would be very hard for me to do and do consistently and do with excellence, to support my clients. And so I spent the whole last quarter of the year trying to find the biggest and baddest, the best team, to do a lot of the things that I was still doing. And truth be told, I shouldn't have still been doing it anyway. But now I'm able to say, well, you know what? If this stuff is taken care of and I can trust these experts to do what they need to do, then all I have to do is do the CEO things that nobody else can do. And so whether you can see or not, you need to be having that mindset anyway. And so I just encourage you guys to really decide that this is going to be a year, right? I was talking to my accountability partners recently, and I said my word for the year is dominion, right? I want to have dominion over the things that I am working on, that I am touching, that I am experiencing. I want to have the independence, right? I want to have dominion over my independence. I want to have dominion over my finances. I want to have dominion over the support that I give, my time investment, all the things. And so that's my word for the year. I encourage you to figure out what's your word for the year, right? That's going to anchor you in the things that you're doing, right? Anchor you in your why. That's going to move you forward in the good days and the bad days, because there are going to be bad days. Like, there going to be bad seasons. Like I said, this last quarter, boy, it tore me up It challenged me in so many freaking ways. You guys just couldn't imagine. Just couldn't. There's probably been more tears shared in this last quarter than probably the last couple of years combined for me. And I'm okay with saying that. Like tears are they're cleansing, you know. But it has been such a challenging season of life for me as a person. And I've had to really think about who I am. Like I'm not even think about remind myself of who I am. That I'm a very confident person. That I'm a very capable person. That I know who I am and what I have to offer the world. Because yeah, when life be hitting you, sometimes you second guess those things. You're like, hold on now, who is this person? And again, I don't even have time to thank all the people that have been kind of feeding into me because I didn't do it alone. But shout outs to Cheryl, people who I talk to that don't know her, I'm like my visually impaired friend. But yeah, I had to tap into to some people that have been dealing with stuff that I deal with and be like, hold on now, the girl needs some help. Shout outs to the physicians, shout outs to the Department of the Blind. Oh my goodness, like there's so many different things I've had to tap into recently. Because I couldn't do it by myself. And so I'm excited for you guys to see, like I said, what we're working on. I'm excited for you to see how I show up and show out in 2026 as a business owner. And then also how others do. Like I said, my goal is to really spotlight other amazing bosses who are doing things differently, who are taking action in their business. And if you are someone who's doing business differently in whatever capacity, right? It's not my job to say how you're doing stuff differently, but if you have something to share about how you're doing business in a non-typical way, please let me know. If you are someone who has been taking massive action or who has mastered some type of implementation that business owners can utilize to do more in their businesses, let me know as well. And we're definitely going to share with you guys how to do those things. Also, look, I almost forgot, last but not least, and I'm going to throw it off. I am doing a partnership with a new magazine that's going to be coming out in February. And so I'm going to be part owner in this magazine. I'm super excited about it. And definitely stay tuned because we are about to start reaching out to people, companies, innovators who want to be spotlighted in the magazine. We're going to be sharing their stories. We actually have a whole different podcast for that endeavor. And you want to be in that arena, you want to have that exposure. Because a lot of you have on your list, you want to be featured in a magazine or publication. You want to be featured in a podcast. And so I'm definitely going to be telling our iRock family how you can do that because I'm really excited. We've been kind of in the background working on this project now for several months, and I'm just excited for you guys to be a part of it and see it and explore it and connect. Because it's a different arena than I have ever, like a different project than I've ever been a part of, but something that I was just so freaking excited about when I even heard about the opportunity. So definitely, like I said, stay tuned. We got a lot of ways to give you guys more exposure, to teach you how to get more exposure, to move forward in your business and everything in between. But I'm going to let you guys go because I'm looking at the time. And just guys, remember, I rock, you rock, we all rock. And let's make 2026, right, our best year yet.